Welcome back to Let's Talk Autism with Shannon and Nancy. And instead of Nancy, I've got the first two of my mensches here. I said I've got three mensches on my show today. We've got Larry Houser, who's here. And for the first time on the show, we have John Skehan. Did I get it right this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And together, they are the co-founders of Fullerton Cares, one of the most amazing organizations that I've ever experienced in my life. And that I get so emotional talking about what you guys do and where you do it in Fullerton, California. But they are also the co-owners of not one, but now two restaurants in Fullerton. If you are in Fullerton, and you should go to Fullerton, if you've gone to Disneyland, you are Fullerton adjacent. How many miles away is Disneyland from you guys?
2.5.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. If you could throw a rock far, you could hit it, right?
Right.
So if you're going to Disneyland anyway, and a lot of times you leave the park and you're like, I just wish I knew where to eat. Well, let me tell you where you need to go. You need to go to one of the two restaurants. Who wants to talk about the two?
Well, Bourbon Street is our first one, and it kind of started when you kind of opened it up, because we didn't have anything like that down there, and we both had been in the industry for so long. He actually initially started it. We were both trying to buy it at the same time, and it's kind of a funny story.
Is that how you guys met?
Yeah.
Because you were competing for it?
Well, we met years ago when he was working at Stubrick's originally.
Okay.
And I was working at a place called Off Campus Pub. And so we'd get off, go over there, play some pool, and drink sodas. And then we just...
and if you drank more than soda, that would be allowed, okay? You're over the age of 21. It's loud. But I get what you're saying. So you knew each other a little bit, but both of you were trying to open a restaurant in the same space?
Pretty much. He snuck on in there, and I was like, dang. And then pretty much...
a little bit more aggressive.
he had an in, But then the next day he calls me up, and he's like, hey, you want to get in on this with me? I'm like...
Smart.
Deal. Yeah.
Smart. And the rest sort of has been history. So the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill, which is an incredible place to go and eat, you guys. Incredible place. And I'm pretty fussy, but wonderful food. And I've been there with my dietary restrictions, with my son's dietary restrictions, which are different. And he still epically talks about the food that's available there. So, and you guys are very accommodating for all that other stuff. But it's that place that you go to, that you walk into, and you know how when you would watch the beginning of Cheers and you would think, oh, I wish there was a place like that where you go in and it's that kind of a vibe to it. That's the vibe. I've never been in there. There wasn't happiness happening in there, and a significant number of people having a good time. It's not like one of those places where it's so crowded that you're like, oh, okay, it's happy, but nobody can get in here. But the food is good, the company is good, the staff is amazing.
Thank you.
So go to Bourbon Street Bar and Grill. But then you decided that wasn't enough, and now you've opened another place, which I have not yet been to the new pizza place. But tell us about the pizza place.
The Bowery is focused for the families.
Okay.
So it's a kind of like a modern, like the pizza parlor kind of got lost.
Yeah.
And then for a short period of time, they were really popular back when I was growing up, and John, we were the same age. And then it just kind of got lost, and we just brought it back with today's needs and wants for families. Like a crafty style pizza and beer and
so the family can go, parents can have a beer, but your kids are there with you, and you're having amazing pizza.
Right.
Wonderful.
I like to equate it to when you come in as a family or as a large group, the parents can just enjoy themselves. We'll babysit the kids.
Well, we like that, don't we?
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun because we have lots of games there for them to play, and we get the greatest joy out of that, and we get a lot of compliments because of that, because there really is nothing like that in the area. Yeah.
Well, I've heard that the pizza is amazing, but of course I'm going to ask the question, and it's okay if you don't have the right answer, but have you perfected a gluten-free and casein-free pizza yet? Not yet? You're working on it?
We are working on it. We have the cauliflower pizza, which is super popular.
Oh, okay. So you do have a gluten-free.
We do have a gluten-free option.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just
and you can get the dairy-free cheese too?
We're working on that.
Okay.
And then,
All
you
right,
know,
let me know because I'll be there right after you have that because that's what, we're always on the hunt for that. So, but in the meantime, we would go over to the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill and get, like, there's an amazing nacho thing and there's something, I don't know whether it's like the home fries or there's something that's like potato chips, but it's got all the stuff except cheese. We get it without the cheese that is
Right.
to die for, that my son constantly talks about. He's like, I want to go back there and have that.
yeah, just our Bourbon Street nachos.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you have it with what? Potato skins, or there's something
You
that's
can do
like,
it, you can do it with fries or potato chips.
that's what we have. Okay, so truly, truly amazing. Okay, so that's the backstory on that. But you open up the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill, and then there's a little bit of a hitch. And not only that, you open up the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill, but you do it with a commitment that you're going to create something that's for the larger community, right? You already had the idea to do Fullerton Cares.
Right. Because John and I are both worked in the city, in the area
For a long time,
for quite a long time. So we already had we were both like-minded in that sense.
So already, opened with the idea that, you were going to do it in conjunction with this organization that was going to give back to the community in a larger sense. But then something life-changing happens. And Boyd comes along, and he was on the show with us last week, and he gets diagnosed with autism. And you're relatively new partners there. And so how did that change what you guys were doing?
Well, it changed a lot. I think John saw the situation, and we were already doing an event. I think we were open for 2 years or a year and a half, and a community event. And after the diagnosis, we just kind of got together and wanted to take this event to this route, the autism route. So that's what we were going to do from now on.
And as a partner, you're front seat of watching, as all this happens. I would venture that there are a lot of people who would go, hey, I didn't sign up for this, and it's not my kid. But I hear that that's not who you are.
No, that's not how I've ever been. I've always, my parents raised me differently.
Yeah.
Where I always try to look out for other people. So, with Larry, being my best friend and my business partner, it's like, there was nothing else we could do. We had to go this route, and it really worked out. It's really made quite a big impact on our community, with awareness, just with acceptance and everything. And every year we do just the Mardi Gras for autism. Every year we do that, it's bigger and bigger. Like it's when you think you can't fit any more people in that parking lot, you see more people, and I think it's really good because every year it does get better.
I know it's really good. I mean, I'd say nice things about the Mardi Gras for Autism all the time, and that it's the only event of its kind where you have done what we all talk about doing 20 years from now. That where we all want to get is to a point where we're in a community where our kids are accepted. I was just talking before about Halloween and how you're going to negotiate and all the people who don't get it. But Fullerton is a place where all the businesses get it. And you have people who just come out to support even when they don't have a kiddo on the spectrum. You have reached that tipping point of where the community is involved, where when you have an autism event, usually it's the autism community that comes, not in Fullerton. In Fullerton, everybody comes. The dentist comes.
Yeah.
The school superintendent comes. The mom who lives 3 houses down from a kiddo on the spectrum comes and goes, I know that we've got a neighbor who's on the spectrum and I wanted to come to support. And brought her kids, and her kids are having fun and interacting and in the sensory zone with all the other kids. You guys, nobody does it better than you. Nobody does, everybody's following in your snowshoe prints. So amazing, right?
I think we just have a great platform. John and I are at the restaurant all the time. We're interacting with our guests all the time, and these things come up and these things are talked about, and a lot of times the customers initiate it.
Yeah.
They've learned about us. But
Well, they see that everything that you have posted up, and you've got the events, and people are talking about the Mardi Gras, and so I'm sure it comes up. And so I just applaud you guys for that. And then we have to get to promoting the event, although, we've been talking about this and we're going to talk about it right up till the day that it happens. You have two big events that happen every year, and we're about to crest the time when the second one is coming. It's the Comedy Show for Autism. For the second year in a row, you have Jay Moore, who is your headliner, which is just like incredibly, ridiculously fabulous. He is hilarious, and he's another mensch. Just a really good guy wanting to do the right thing, and he's also hilarious. So let's go over the particulars about the event. What day?
Saturday, November 16th.
Yes. And so we don't normally do it on a Saturday, right?
No, this is our first Saturday. We're going to do it at the Ballroom, which is right above Bourbon Street. It's historic too, just like the Fox that we've done it at. But we switch off. We switch off both from the Fox and the Ballroom, and it's just mainly because the Fox Theater it's not operable.
Yeah.
It's only operable for our event.
So
there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and
Yeah.
we want to take a little bit of time off from it. It's more like it alternates every other year.
Yeah.
And it's done like that on purpose, just to kind of keep the Fox as it being on a good buzz.
It's a historical landmark.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But the Ballroom is
the
incredible
Ballroom's
too.
historical too. It's
Ballroom
amazing.
is I think it's almost as old as the Fox, but
Really?
it's also, I kind of like the Ballroom a little better because it's a little more intimate. So you can actually smell Jay Moore's breath,
Okay, I'm not sure I want that, but all right, good to know. But
But we have something awesome about this particular event.
yes.
And not only is Jay Moore the headliner, we also have George Perez, who's coming back. He was with us since day one.
Hilarious.
Day one, yeah.
And then we also have Ada Rodriguez.
Yes.
And we normally have Keith Reza as a short act. Keith Reza is a comedian that's on the spectrum.
Yep.
So this year we're actually going to have him be the host of the entire event.
Which I love.
So I think it's something different, but I think it's the direction that
He's
we want
ready.
to go with
He's
this event.
totally ready.
He's ready.
hilarious.
Right.
He's totally, and I think that's wonderful. That's something that I see these gentlemen do on a regular basis. Is they're not just talking it; they're walking their talk. What a great opportunity for Keith. He's absolutely ready for it. There's no reason not to do it, and I love that you guys have done that. So let's talk about where do people get tickets?
You can get tickets on our website, www.fullertoncares.com.
You're also on Facebook.
You can go to Eventbrite and just do a Google search or a search for Comedy Show for Autism, and the link will pop up.
But here's the deal, it will sell out. So people need to not be waiting to get tickets.
No, we're almost sold out now.
So
Getting close.
You need to get your tickets if you want to go to this. It's a super duper event. And what time does it start?
7 o'clock?
That's when comedy starts.
That's when comedy starts.
Okay,
Right.
but before that, we were talking about this on Monday, that really you should make a whole night of it. So you get the babysitter and get the babysitter for a little bit longer, go to dinner first, and you can pick which one of these two fabulous restaurants you want to go to. But treat yourself to dinner, and you guys have entertainment and things happening. There's a red carpet. I know from being there before. There's a band. You guys have stuff going on. So this is an adult event. This is not the event to bring the kiddos to. Not really even the teenagers. So leave them at home. Get somebody that's responsible who can oversee that. But treat yourself. Go out. Be with adults. You will find that there's the autism community there, but at least half the audience is just other people that are there because it's a great show. So it's there's a lot of comedy, a lot of comedy. You will laugh until you're almost sick. So do yourself a favor and eat well first, but do that at the Bourbon Street or at the Bowery.
Bowery, yeah. We're going to have the meet and greets down there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. And I just want to take a second because we're out of time, but we didn't really get a chance the last time you were here to talk about your work program, and so I was wondering if you guys could both talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me. It was a few years back. We started talking about it, and I just remember some programs from where I grew up, I kind of did stuff, and then he was approached by the ROP program in Fullerton, and it was like, wow, yeah, well, this is great because we have a platform. We're not open during the week, during the daytime. We open later, so we have all these hours where we can have the kids come in, just learn how to do different things, learn some different structures and different things that they can use in their future life. I mean, we've even hired 2 that work for us permanently now.
Wow.
That and they're it's a program for pretty much for everyone because you're just learning basic skills. We're trying to get more into other restaurants in the area.
Yeah.
But it really makes me happy when I see them walk in the door because they're always happy. They're always in a good mood. And
Always.
I mean,
Always.
they always go in and go to task and just get stuff done. Their instructors are always there with them, and it's really, really nice, really good to see.
A wonderful thing. So I said they walk their talk. These are amazing men. And I just want to say this before we leave, that I talk all the time about how much I love Fullerton Cares, and how much I love Larry Houser and the power of one, and when one person decides to do something. And Larry always says to me, but it's not one. He always says to me, but I have this team of people. And it was such a pleasure today for me to meet John and to see these 2 men having conversations, and to hear Larry say that, at all these different places, when it was hard, that he had, I'm going to get emotional, that he had this friend who kept saying, and this business partner who kept saying yes, who always kept saying yes. That's amazing. You deserve an award for that.
He most certainly does. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And everybody should be that lucky to have a friend like this and a business partner like this, somebody that when your child is going through that doesn't run away but runs into that with you and says, let's go there together. This just gives us more purpose and more of a mission that we're going to do. Everybody deserves that, and how lucky are we that you were there to do that with him.
No.
And we've all benefited from it. All of us have benefited from it. So thank you.
I just feel fortunate that I could have been some help, and we keep going.
Well,
yeah.
I'm like wet here, but it's thrilling.
It is thrilling.
And I think, good on you. How lucky are you? Because I think one of the hardest things for men in this journey is that men don't often get the support that, women need more support too, but we get a lot more than the men do. So I'm thrilled.
Autism isn't very sexy,
Really?
No one really gravitates towards it.
Except that, I see people all the time who actually do, and I'm like, really? That's so interesting. So in any case, I'm glad for you that you have the support, and I applaud you still too, because you made sure that it happened for so many other people. So Menches here for you today, Fullerton Cares, and I'm just going to keep saying, when's the book coming that teaches other communities how to do this? So I'm putting that on you. And I said that to your sister-in-law on Monday too. I sort of put her in charge of it because you may be too busy, and she looks like somebody. But maybe John, you need to be in charge of it. I'm just going to keep saying it, and then when you have it, I'll be here talking about it. Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.